everybody, my name is Taylor. I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you're having a great day. But if you happen to be having a really, really terrible day, I do hope that it gets just a little bit better. Alrighty, why don't we get started? Shall we? Boom! Alrighty, everybody, welcome back for another episode of Grief Brief. We are on episode 11. How crazy. If this is your very first episode of the Grief Brief, welcome to my home. Quick rundown, in case you have no idea what's going on or what video you just clicked on. My mom passed away in September of 2016, and I spent the time that followed recording my thoughts and feelings, and I decided to share those with the internet because grief should not be something that we hide away from, that we run away from, that we don't talk about. There is so much struggle in grief, and there should be no shame in that struggle at all because it is such a natural part of life. So, welcome to the Grief Brief. We are on episode 11, which is crazy, and this is a big episode, and I am going to try and keep this bit short because there's a lot of stuff I want to share with you coming up. What can you expect in episode 11? You are going to hear me talk about jealousy, and jealousy and grief specifically. You're going to hear me express my feelings of what it's like to lose someone close to you and then constantly be reminded that so many other people around you have not lost that person. They haven't lost that grandmother. They haven't lost a mom. They still have a brother. They still have, their best friend. And so it's sort of talking about like that sort of experience of what is it like to have to sort of be reminded all the time that other people have something that you don't have and will never have again. That is so complicated and confusing and hard, and I wanted to just let all my feelings out. This is, like I was saying last week, the beginning of a very long sort of lonely spiral of realizing that your life is completely altered and other people's lives haven't, and what does that mean, and how do you move through the world now? You're gonna start seeing that anxiety come out as well. And then you're also going to hear me talk about what it is like when the person who was sort of your rock in unconditional love is no longer. So I knew that no matter what, I always came before everybody else for my mom. I don't have a very close family. I don't have any other immediate family. It's hard because there is that concern in the back of my mind that basically if something happens to me before I start a family of my own, I get married or have kids or whatever, who's supposed to plan my funeral? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have anybody whose responsibility it is to plan my funeral. To sort of put it in perspective, that's where I'm at right now, and that is just where my life is. Like, that's a fact at the moment, but it was something that was just hitting me back then in October, and that's a hard thing to realize, that you're going to be secondary or tertiary or whatever comes after that for most people in your life. Even like some of my best friends, like, they don't see me on the same level as they see their brothers or sisters or significant others or other people in their family. And that sucks. That is really one that makes you reevaluate things. But it's the truth. And I'm supposed to be honest on this. So that is what you are going to see me talk about. This is a long one, so prepare yourself. And I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, it's Taylor again, probably in an outfit you've seen me wear before. Cute. Anyways, so I just really wanted to talk about something that's kind of been weighing on me since my mom passed. She passed a month ago. I guess, I don't really know it depends on how you count a month. If you count a month as 4 weeks, then she passed on Monday. Today's Wednesday, it's October 19th. She passed a month ago on Monday. But if you count a month as like from the date to the date, then she passed exactly a month ago today. Which is weird. And it's a lot to process. But I wanted to talk about something that I've been struggling with processing and sort of understanding, and actually haven't really been trying to understand it. It's just a feeling that I have that I just let myself feel, and I stop feeling, and then it comes and goes in waves. And that feeling is jealousy. Jealousy and grief, in my opinion, go hand in hand. And it's something that we don't talk about a lot. It's something that you should keep quiet. Jealousy is typically something you should keep quiet, or you should self-evaluate yourself and figure out why are you jealous. And in other situations, I would say do that. You know, it's typically some type of self-esteem, or it's some type of weird... no, it's typically self-esteem and a lack of understanding who you are. But in grief, it's more than that. It's not... Maybe it is that. I really don't know, you guys. But all I know is that every time... I don't know, there's so many times in this process in which I have experienced jealousy. Jealousy towards people I care about and people I love. And for varying reasons, you know. I'm jealous of all of my friends that still have their moms. I'm jealous of them every time they say the word mom. Because every time I hear the word mom, every single time I'm like, I don't have a mom anymore. My mom is gone. And it's such a crazy, like, thing. And you don't want to be self-pitying, but also it's been 4 weeks. So, like, you have that right. But you're just sort of like, am I ever going to stop feeling that? I'm sure I will, but sooner rather than later. But also you don't want to, because you want to honor them, even if it's a weird way. And then I get jealous anytime I think of, like, my friends who have families. Because I have other friends whose parents have passed away, but they have brothers and sisters, and, you know, their other parent is still alive. And my dad is still alive, but I have zero relationship with him. So that's done. And then I don't have any brothers and sisters. I have a really small family that's spread out across the world and is not particularly, like, close. So I don't really have a family, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, just typically it's like you lost somebody in your family and it sucks and it's hard and it's devastating, but at least you have these other people to lean on. And I have people who are there for me, but just not in that traditional sense, you know what I mean? Not those people who are bound to you by that immediate family line blood. And so that's been difficult. Especially because it's October right now, so Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas is coming up, New Year's is coming up, my mom's birthday is in January. Winter's gonna freaking suck. And I don't know what to do about it, and I know it's gonna be hard, and it's like, is it harder to celebrate Thanksgiving with, like, friends, or, you know, just sort of find your own little weird group of orphans to hang out with? Or is it hard and, like, not be with any type of family? Or is it easier to go hang out with people who feel like family, but they have their own family? And that's another thing I've been jealous of, is, like, I lost my mom and I don't have any other immediate family members. And because of that, I feel like I've lost the one person who put me above everybody else. And I say that because I have friends and family members and family friends and whatnot, and some of my mom's friends and her, like, distant relatives or whatever, who've said, you know, you're family, you're like family to us, like, you matter to us and all that stuff. And that's so nice and so important to hear. But it is so difficult, because I also know that I have nobody who's going to put me as a top priority anymore. Like, for the rest of my life, unless I find, like, a spouse. Because, you know, you have your best friends, but they have families. They have moms and daughters. They don't have any children. They have moms and fathers and brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews. People who will, you know, if you had to rank it, people who come before you in that rank. I was my mom's number one. She was my number one. It's a difficult thing to come to terms with and accept that that's just the way it is now. And to also find a way to process it, but also not feel sorry for yourself. But I think that there's not, from an A to Z sort of standpoint of, this sucks, I understand it, I'm better now, it's all good. There's the whole freaking alphabet is in between those letters, and it's going to be a long, hard process of, you know, of a lot of mixed feelings, of a lot of anger and resentment and jealousy and trying to understand that and not feel sorry for myself. That's probably going to be my hardest thing, because in general, like, I've struggled with a lot of self-esteem issues and self-worth issues, and I've worked through a majority of them. But I'm very susceptible and very prone to self-doubts, lack of self-esteem, and a lot of self-pity. Super easy for me to feel bad for myself and to spiral into anxiety and depression, and I just know it's gonna suck, because you can't run away from those things just because you know that they're gonna come. And that's probably the hardest thing, is like avoiding certain things because you know, like, I know that it's going to be difficult, and it's like it would be easy for me to just be like, you know what, instead of me celebrating, you know, Thanksgiving with anybody else's family, I think I'm just gonna go to Florida on vacation, because why not? But I can't do that, and I shouldn't do that, because it's not the healthiest way to... Avoidance is not going to solve anything. It's just going to prolong the process. And in all actuality, I want this process to be over. But it's just not possible after 4 weeks. So I just want to say that if you lose someone, if you have lost someone, or you are going to lose someone, and you feel prone to jealousy, you feel, you know, resentment, you know, you look at your friends and their family, or they have their grandma, or they have their aunt, or they have their sisters, or moms, or dads, that it's okay if you feel that way. Like, it is okay if you feel anger or resentment or jealousy, because it's not okay if somebody tells you can't feel those things, because they're not accepting of the full process, and you need to feel those things in order to move past them and work through them. Don't allow yourself to just sit in them. You know what I mean? Accept that they're going to come, they're going to be a part of it. Express them in the healthiest way you can. Talk to somebody if you can. Talk to me if you want to, and just know that it's okay if you feel that way, and that it's going to happen. And your mind is going to do a lot of crazy things, and say a lot of crazy things, and feel a lot of emotions, and it's probably best to either see a therapist or write that sucker down, because I'm telling you, I've thought some things that I wanted to say to some people, like things that haven't even come up, just like situations you prepare yourself for, and be like, I'm mad at you about this and this and this, and all these things that you really should let go of. But feel what you have to feel. Do what you have to do. Strive for peace. I hope you get there. Talk to you later. Bye. And that was episode 11 of the Grief Brief. I hope that it made you understand somebody you know going through grief. If you know me, maybe it helped you understand me a little bit more. If you are grieving or have grieved, I hope it made you feel a little less alone and a little more understood, that you are not crazy or experiencing things out of the ordinary. Grief is hard, it is lonely, it is scary, it is enlightening, and it is devastating. But it's something we have to figure out how to get through and live with, because you never really let go of it, honestly. So if you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe below. If you have any questions about grief or want any more information, there are links listed below that really helped me. If you want to contact me personally, my social media is linked also down there, in case you don't want to leave a comment for all of YouTube. A new Grief Brief video is going to be coming out every Monday and Friday. And in the meantime, until I see you again, I hope that you find a little bit of joy today, or a little bit of joy tomorrow, and that joy grows and becomes more of a permanent fixture. Alrighty, I'll see you Friday. Bye-bye!